What is up, my magic miscreants? Risen Dragon is here. We're back after a little bit of a layoff, but we are back and we are in force, and today we are looking at another Bant build. This is a Bant counters build, and let me explain what we're going for with this particular build. With this particular build, we're looking to counter spells with Dissipate and Syncopate. We're only running two copies of each, but we're also looking to get as many counters on our creatures as we can and swing in for some big wins. Now, Falco Spara Pact Weaver, we have never played with this card before. I can share, like, this card has been out for like 2 years and we have never played with it, and this deck was inspired by Manaman. He did a Falco type deck. We're looking to make it a little more control-y and a little more aggro at the same time. So it's kind of a mid-rangey type build, but basically we're going to start here. Falco Spara Pact Weaver with flying and trample. It enters the battlefield with a shield counter on it. You may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may cast spells from the top of your library by removing a counter from a creature you control in addition to paying their other mana costs. So it's one of those kind of things where it's like, it's a little bit of a sacrifice, but there are ways around it, and we're going to show you how that works. But let's start with Hopeful Initiate. We love this card. With training 2 and a white, remove 2 +1/+1 counters from among creatures you control. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Very good against Boros type builds that run, like, say, Wedding Announcement or Urabrask's Forge. We are looking at Warden of the Inner Sky, one of my favorite cards from the Ixalan set. As long as Warden of the Inner Sky has 3 or more counters on it, it has flying and vigilance. Tap 3 untapped artifacts and/or creatures you control. Put a +1/+1 counter on this card and scry 1, but we can only activate it as a sorcery, so that's kind of a bummer. Syncopate, we counter target spell unless its controller pays X, and then it gets exiled if it's put into owner's graveyard. This is a card that has saved my butt on a few, and it's Recommission. Return target artifact or creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. All of our creatures are 3 or below except for the Spara. And if a creature enters the battlefield this way, it enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. We are running 3 copies of Ozolith the Shattered Spire. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be put on an artifact or creature you control, that many +1/+1 counters are put on it instead. For a green and any other mana and a tap, we put a +1/+1 counter on target artifact or creature you control. We can only activate it as a sorcery, though, and it does have cycling. For 2, Botanical Brawler. It enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on another permanent you control, if it's the first time that +1/+1 counters have been put on that permanent this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Botanical Brawler. Okay, so it gets out of hand real fast if the opponent is not careful. Siege Veteran. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever another non-token soldier you control dies, create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token. 2 Dissipates, of course. We are countering target spells. If that spell is countered this way, we exile it instead of putting it into the graveyard. Kami of Whispered Hopes. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a permanent you control, that many so it's kind of like your Ozolith, but we tap it and we add X mana of any one color, where X is Kami of Whispered Hopes power. So it kind of goes along with the Falco in that regard. We're running 1 Depopulate, 1 Sunfall. Of course, Sunfall exiles all creatures, and we incubate X, where X is the number of creatures exiled in this way. We've already looked at Falco, but let's look at Tamiyo Compleated Sage. We kind of do this one as a little bit of a control piece. That's kind of where the control stuff comes into play. It is compleated, so if we can pay Phyrexian mana to put it out, but it comes into the battlefield with 2 fewer loyalty counters. For their +1, we tap up to 1 target artifact or creature. It does not untap during its controller's next untap step. -X, we exile target non-land permanent card with mana value X from our graveyard. We create a token that's a copy of that card. And for -7, create Tamiyo's Notebook, a legendary colorless artifact token with spells you cast cost 2 less to cast, and tap, draw a card. So this is a great card to have, especially with compared to paired up with Falco. As far as lands are concerned, we're running 2 Restless Anchorages, a couple dualies there. Notably absent, we're not running any of the Boseiju and or what's the other one? The one that bounces, I can't think of it. Otawara. Not running any of those, but we are running 2 Demolition Fields, 2 Field of Ruins, just in case we come across any Cavern of Souls stuff. As far as sideboard is concerned, we're running a few more Depopulates and Sunfalls, just in case we're up against some really heavy creature builds in our best of 3s. 2 Tamiyo Safekeeping, 2 Destroy Evil, 2 Broken Wings, 2 Fade from History, and a Tyvar's Stand is also in there as well. Fade from History is actually one that I think is a great sideboard card in any green build. So this is our Bant counters build. It's a little bit of a quirky, mid-rangey sort of build. Hope you like it. If you like what you see, leave a like, leave a subscribe. Obviously, we're up to 138 subs, which I'm thinking is awesome. That's good stuff. And if you're new to my channel, we do a best of 1 and then we do a best of 3, so you can see how the deck functions in either one of those environments. So without further ado, let's get to the Bant counters games, kids. We are against Choi for our best of 1 matchup. We're going to take some pain on this, but I think we do keep because we do have Warden of the Inner Sky, which does present a somewhat unique threat. And if need be, we do a recommission to get it back. That's okay. Alright. So what do you got, Choi? Mono red? Mono red. Maybe. We'll see. Not what I wanted to see, but it is what it is. The thing I like about bronze level play is that you don't lose a lot. Oh, a Monastery Swift Spear. Cons of Tarkir, huh? Oh yeah, and that's gonna get zapped. There we go. Alright, boom. Deserted beach, eh? I think we just put this down because we're gonna take a ton of damage no matter what we do. So, there is that. Oof. Yeah, that's harsh. That's harsh. So we're gonna do this, and we're gonna have to take some pain here. But if it gets us a decent blocker, then I think we're good. Now they're just trying to figure out what do they take out. So we're gonna take a lead. I mean, the problem here is, oh, they didn't do that. Interesting. So now we got big Monastery Swift Spear. They're just gonna go right for the kill here. Feldon. Yeah, why you do that to me, man? Why are you doing this? Anyways. And we just do this. Okay. Take a little. We're gonna have to take a little bit of pain here, okay? I think they're just setting us up. Bloodthirsty adversary. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Why are you. What is your point here? I don't really see the point in what it is that you are doing with this. You just lost the game. I mean, but fine. I mean, okay, we'll go to the best of 3. We're against, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Kaguli Musclier. Yeah, sure. Let's go with it. Are we against Mono Red again? 'Cause that would be most interesting. That last matchup was just so odd. Why didn't they swing in when they had the chance? I will never understand. I don't know. That was just odd. And now we're against some, I'm guessing GRUUL maybe? Dinos? Yep, dinos. Okay. We're gonna go with the Siege Veteran just to give them something bigger to shoot at. They did not miss a land. I thought they had missed a land drop. Watley, okay. That's fun. Tamiyo of Whispered Hopes is interesting. I like that play. I'm going to use this. Do that. We'll swing, try to get some damage across, and pump up our Initiate. I'm guessing some sort of dino is coming down, so... Yeah, can they transform that? No, they can't. Okay, there's your Pugnacious Hamaskull. How fun are you? I don't know if I want to do that quite yet. I don't know if I want to do that quite yet. But... now that's a thing. So we'll take a little bit of damage here if... Now if they have a Triumphant Chomp, I am going to be incredibly sad. They might have it. Fight rigging. Well, this could get fun. Actually, no, it's not. Because here's what we're going to do. We're going to destroy that. Take that away. Take that away. We're not going to fight rig that. You are not. You get no fight rigging. You do not get to do that. Hopeful Initiate is great. That is a great idea. Man, Warden of the Inner Sky is just absolutely beast. Is it not? It is just absolutely beast. And that's going to transform into something. I'd like to see Huatley flip here. I would like to see that. Because that's something you don't see every day. Belligerent Earling, yeah, that can stay. The Ridge Line, what does that do? We do have a Syncopate in hand, so there's another Huatley. So I'm just going to say no thank you to that. And you lose. Okay, let's go to the second matchup. I don't think we change anything. I think we keep it status quo for now. This is a deceptive deck, is it not? And I don't care if I'm just beating up on some bronzes. This is a deck that's very interesting, to say the least. And, yeah, just very, very fun deck. And again, Mana Man, he did a little bit of a different riff on it. I'll include the link to his video in the description, along with my Aether Hub and also my SoundCloud. Check out my SoundCloud. Aquarius Prime is my DJ name, so to speak. I also have another, like, chill project, Dan AK, if you want to check that one out on SoundCloud as well. The theme. That is a terrible opening hand. That one's not much better. I guess. You're not gonna give me much choice. Ixali's Lord Keeper. Okay, well, at least we don't have to take pain this time. Although a Pugnacious Hammer Skull on move 3 would just be just... I say move 3, I'm a chess player. And take pain. That's okay. Now here I would almost take... I would almost block the Intrepid Paleontologist simply because we've got the recommission. Okay, well, you're going to chomp me no matter what. There we go. Alright, so that will work. Not going to have much of a choice. I think we're going to have to just resurrect that. That one they don't see coming. Now they've got so much they can work with, though. Yeah, there's a Bonehorde Dracosaur. I love that part. That is not fun. No blocks. That is 100% not fun. I don't think we're gonna be much for this. They just ramped into that real fast, so we could have gone a depopulate route, but we would have taken way too much damage to come back from that. With a Dino deck, yeah, they were a little bit mana shorted, but yeah. Alright, this one's better. We do this. We are going to take a little bit of pain with the Botanical Brawler, but... Or maybe not. We can do the Murex. Murex works just as well. Okay, that helps. There's been this bug lately where this turns pink, which freaked me out this morning. I was like, what's going on? You chomping my brawler? Why? That was like a key cog in what I was trying to do, man. Alright, let's go Siege Veteran into this. Right there, boom, we do that. And swing. Boom, boom. Okay. Fun stuff. Pugnacious. Pugnacious! You come? No, you're just doing another... What? Oh, jeez. Alright, well. That's fun. That's even more fun. I might consider just simply doing this. Take a little bit of damage. I don't need any more land. Don't need any more land, so that was probably a wise choice on our part. Yeah, Lithamanic Barrage is definitely a fun... there's the Hammer Skull. Okay. Could be in a little bit of trouble here. You're gonna do a chomp now. Yep. There's that. Okay. So we get that. Well, we might not be too much longer for this. Okay, the Lore Keeper. Recommission is a fun one. I'm gonna do that. Let's do the Brawler. So, you know what, let's just do this too. Amps our Sunfall if we need it. Polani's Hatcher, yeah, no fun. Oof, that's bad. That's bad. Yep, that's not the worst because we just chump block the Hammer Skull. And you know what? Do we... Yeah, we're going to take the Brawler down too. Alright, so... You know, I can deal without the lands, please. Yeah, that just happened. Oh my gosh, they found Plotly. Okay. We need a depopulate and or a Sunfall. A Sunfall would be absolutely phenomenal at this point. Oof. Yeah. Oof. Oof. Yeah, I think we're dead. I think we're dead. Alright, good game. Let's go to the post-game analysis. So I think we got a little bit lucky with the first best of one matchup. I think that one was a little bit lucky, but you know, 2-2 with this build today, not a bad gig, not a bad gig at all. And I do think that there are a lot of quirks in this build that are incredibly interesting. I think Recommission is just an underrated card, especially in some of these smaller builds, and considering that we're running a lot of smaller creatures, I think it is definitely a main board for this. Tamiyo, I'm not quite sold on yet. That's kind of like a high-end finisher type. Falco, I mean, it's an interesting card to say the least, but it's definitely one that, you know, it's very, I don't know if it's situational or not, but well, we'll figure it out. But if you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a subscribe, and as always, my magic miscreants, may you always be on the play and may all your spells hit the board. Risen Dragon is out. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.